Hi, my name is Ryan Crawford, and today I'm going to discuss my research paper titled Analysis of Delay Discounting Procedures on a Fish and At-Risk Population. By definition, an organism that is alive must behave. An individual or an organism's environment shapes and guides the individual's behavior. The individual constantly engages in complex contingencies of reinforcement and punishment throughout the day, most of the time without even noticing. In addition, these individuals are constantly presented with choices within their environments. Paper or plastic, chocolate cake or an apple, the choices made by the individual are a product of previous reinforcement or punishment and will then result in varying forms of reinforcement or punishment, all on varying schedules. At the basic level, take the choice that many American individuals face to stick to his or her weight loss plan or enjoy the piece of pizza in the break room. Which one will the individual choose? Ideally, all individuals would prefer to have the pizza immediately as well as continue to lose weight. Research has shown that most individuals would prefer to have rewards as quickly as possible. In addition, they would prefer for this reinforcer to be of a greater magnitude. The concept of choice has been studied extensively in a variety of research topics and subjects. Choice is often impacted and depicted by behavioral contrast, which is an effect frequently produced by the stimulus-correlated alternation of reinforcement and extinction. As choice has been studied, so have the patterns of attempting to understand why an individual chose a particular stimuli now versus a larger stimuli later. This concept is known as delay discounting. Meyerson et al. Studied this concept and found that smaller rewards were more steeply discounted than the larger delayed reward. In addition, delay discounting has been studied to better understand individuals' preferences for monetary rewards, both hypothetical and real. The study at hand will build on previous research in order to help better understand delay discounting and its impacts on behavior, both on animal and human subjects. The following study will analyze and discuss two separate delay discounting procedures, one conducted using concurrent schedules of reinforcement and delayed reinforcement in a fish subject, and one conducted using a discounting survey questionnaire using an at-risk group of human subjects. For the present study, a North American betta fish was used in order to determine if concurrent schedules of reinforcement on a temporal delay would impact responding. A male betta fish was purchased by the researcher from a local pet supply store. He is approximately 1.5 inches in length, blue in color, and living in a tank that is approximately 2.5 gallons. The previously described North American betta fish was used in the study. Upon the fish's arrival to the researcher's home, a 2.5-gallon tank was prepared in order for the fish to have a safe and livable habitat. The water was treated with 100 small drops approved water conditioning solution and allowed to sit and maintain room temperature for 24 hours prior to the fish's entrance into the new tank. A small artificial plant was placed in the back right corner of the tank. The R2 fish school kit was purchased and acquired by the researcher in order to assist with the training process. The researcher used the provided long feeding rod in order to provide the fish with food as reinforcement for the procedure. The two behaviors being trained today are behavior 1, upon presentation of the feeding rod into the water, the fish swims in an upward direction towards the surface of the water for at least 2 inches in distance. And behavior 2, upon presentation of the feeding rod into the water, the fish swims in a downward direction towards the gravel for at least 2 inches in distance within 2 seconds of the feeding rod being presented. In order to assess the two concurrent schedules of reinforcement, the R2 fish school trainer was used to train the fish to engage in different operant responses previously mentioned. During the baseline phase, which lasted 10 sessions over the course of 5 total days, the baseline results demonstrated no identifiable preference between two schedules of reinforcement. After the baseline phase concluded and data was deemed to be stable, each of the two behaviors was assigned a schedule of reinforcement. Behavior 1, swimming upwards, was reinforced with a smaller reward within 1 second of engaging in the operant behavior. When behavior 1 was demonstrated, one piece of food was presented to the fish within 1 second. Behavior 2, swimming downward towards the gravel of the tank, was reinforced on a delay. 10 trials at each of the 5 delays were completed. The delays were as follows: 1 second, 5 seconds, 10 seconds, 15 seconds, and 20 seconds. Here is a video of the pre-training responding, where the fish does not respond to any stimuli and it does not engage in the target behavior. And here are videos of after the training has been conducted, the fish engaging in target behavior number 1, swimming upwards, as he is reinforced with a piece of food immediately upon presentation, engaging in that behavior. And behavior number 2, swimming downward, is reinforced on a delay, which is why you see a delayed response in this video. As mentioned previously, no identifiable difference between the two schedules of reinforcement was present. Once baseline had been completed and the concurrent schedules of reinforcement were implemented, the results began to differ from baseline. The betta fish showed a preference towards behavior 1, swimming upward towards the surface of the water. This behavior was reinforced with a small amount of food within 1 second of engaging in the given behavior. 10 trials were conducted at each of the following reinforcement delays: 1 second, 5 seconds, 10 seconds, 15 seconds, and 20 seconds. As the temporal delay of reinforcer decreased, so did the number of times the fish chose the larger, more delayed reinforcer. Based on the results of this experiment, the fish demonstrated a higher rate of responding when given a smaller and sooner reinforcer. The data shows that the fish chose to engage in the target behavior that resulted in the reward being presented in a smaller amount but was distributed more quickly. The fish behaved predictably based on previous research. The fish helped to demonstrate that organisms prefer the smaller, sooner reward, especially one that is in a closed economy, meaning food and reinforcement were not provided outside of the training session.